The Angry Marks Podcast Network is brought to you by WrestleWork, a social network to connect, create, and share everything about pro wrestling. Check it out today at WrestleWork.com. You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Greetings and well wishes to everyone at AngryMarks.com. My name is Emerson Whitner, and this is the NXT audio update for March 4th, 2015. As mentioned, I am the one and only Emerson Whitner, and if you enjoy what you're listening to, I host a weekly podcast, the mildly successful Wrestling Outsiders podcast. We do our shows every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Last night, we did part 3 of the history of WrestleMania, covering WrestleManias 11 through 15. That is our 48th episode. We have a special 50th episode coming up on March 16th that I will have Stevie J plug next week. But you can listen to all of our past 48 episodes on our website. It includes live pay-per-view recaps and interviews with some great wrestling personalities, including Brian Alvarez, Stevie J, R.D. Reynolds, R.J. Brewer, and Antonio The Promise Thomas. So NXT last night, it was a fun 50-some-odd minutes. Featured the debut, in-ring debut of Solomon Crowe, and also featured the threat of the return to the ring of Alex Riley. If you recall last week, Kevin Owens was out doing commentary for Finn Balor's match, and Alex Riley got on his case about stabbing his best friend in the back, and Owens pointed out that this is why Riley was never a champion in his career. After that match and at the end of the show, Owens threw Riley over the announce table and onto the cold, hard concrete floor. So this week it started out with Alex Riley backstage asking William Regal for a match with Kevin Owens. Mr. Regal told Riley he can either be a commentator or a competitor, which made Riley scream because Mr. Regal had done the same thing and had actually wrestled Cesaro last year. And Mr. Regal pointed out that Cesaro whooped him. He hasn't wrestled since, and that's the reason why we haven't seen him. And Alex Riley was told that he can only wrestle Kevin Owens if he gives up commentating. Personally, I was begging A-Rye to give up announcing. Our first match was a battle of two heels, Tyler Breeze and Adam Rose. The match went roughly 4 minutes. The fans, I don't think, know that Rose is a heel. They were behind him the entire time. The match went about 4 minutes, and Adam Rose was on offense for 3 minutes and 55 seconds of it. Rose hit his clothesline into the corner, but when he remounted off the ropes for a what a maneuver, Breeze took his head off with a beauty shot for the win. Enzo and Colin were backstage cutting a promo on Blake and Murphy. The only positive I got out of this was at least they know which one is Blake and which one is Murphy. Colin did say that nobody talks to Carmella the way the champs talk to her. Alexa Bliss was also backstage talking about how she's back, and regardless of who wins the main event, she's gunning for Sasha Banks since Sasha hurt her nose. I have no memory of that. Maybe she hit her with a Polish hammer. Bad Chris Masters, Stevie Richards joke. Speaking of our NXT Tag Team Champions, Blake and Murphy were up next, taking on Sawyer Fulton and Angelo Dawkins. Dawkins and Fulton were both wearing amateur wrestling singlets, with Fulton wearing amateur headgear. I'd like to point out that I can tell the jobber team apart, but the tag team champions, I have no bloody idea. Dawkins and Fulton, despite this basically supposed to be a showcase match for the champions, but they let Dawkins and Fulton get a decent amount of offense on them, but they did fall when the Naturals hit their suplex frog splash combination for the win. One of the champions hit the frog splash a good ways away across the ring, and Yeah. Bayley and Charlotte were backstage being happy together. When Charlotte walked off, Emma walked up and was also being happy, but was also being a little bit of an instigator, telling Bayley that it should be her title shot. Emma did say that when she was on Raw, she was all really nice and really friendly to everybody, and here she is, back on NXT. So, we know an Emma heel turn is coming, maybe even a Bayley heel turn, but if Bayley turns heel, there's no baby faces left. Well, maybe old Blue Pants will get a big push. Baron Corbin defeated Tony Briggs. Tony Briggs was the third guy in 2 matches in a row to wear a college singlet, and he fared just as well as Dawkins and Fulton did in the last match. Baron won quickly with the end of days, but the whole story of the match was Kevin Owens came out and stared at the back of Alex Riley's head. After the match, Jason Albert told A-Rai to stay put, while Owens continued to stare at him. Alex was seething, but just staring off into the distance. Kevin stole Alex's water and dumped it over Riley's head. Riley almost snapped and said that he was going to kick Owens' ass, but stopped himself. Also helped that Jason Albert was holding him back. Owens even turned his back on him, daring Riley to hit him. Riley didn't, and so Owens walked away. Sami Zayn appeared via cell phone footage, cutting a promo from the streets of Montreal at 2 o'clock in the morning, stating that the landscape of NXT is changing dramatically thanks to people debuting and people returning. Zayn said for the first time in 13 years of wrestling, he's not mentally prepared to be in the ring, which is why he's there in Montreal instead of at NXT. Zayn did say he has yet to watch TakeOver Arrival, but when he does, that may be the inspiration for him to come back. Backstage, CJ Parker was talking to William Regal about God knows what when Alex Riley stormed in and yelled that he's quitting as a commentator to wrestle Kevin Owens. Mr. Regal said he will not make that match until A-Rai is actually ready to fight Owens. CJ Parker pointed out that he's the reason Owens has that scar on his nose, and so Riley said he'd kick CJ's ass next week. The debut of Solomon Crowe versus Bull Dempsey. My brother firing up the DVR for this match. This was just a fun match full of clubbering. Dusty Rhodes would have been marking out on commentary for all the clubbering going on in this match. Crowe's gimmick appears to be that he's bigger and that he thinks he's bigger and tougher than he really is. He kept headbutting he kept headbutting Bull Dempsey, but Bull shook it off and dropped him with one headbutt, and he went for the big Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant body slam on Bull, and Bull fell on top of him. Crowe did eventually get his body slam, but it was when Dempsey was running across the ring, so it was not really a body slam, but still. Bull knocked him out of the full body attack and went for the diving headbutt, but Crowe ran out of the way. And then Crowe hit his finisher. Now, I just said that Bull's finisher is the diving headbutt up the top rope. Solomon Crowe's finisher is he sort of springboards back into the ropes and hits a headbutt to the ribs. He needs a new finish now. Just saying. Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor for the NXT Championship was announced for March 25th, which, conveniently enough, is the day that I fly to Santa Clara. Of course, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know if I'll just do both shows the following week or what I'll do, because I don't think I'm going to be doing any audio updates from Santa Clara, but we'll see. And then in the main event, Women's Champion Sasha Banks did pin Charlotte, and they had about 11, 12 minutes left to go in the show, and when the bell rang, they immediately went to their finishes for some reason. Charlotte got the figure four on in the first 30 seconds. Sasha got the crossface on about a minute later. Sasha tried to take the heel, walk away, and win the title on the countout finish and got stopped. And then they slowed down after the commercial break. After commercial, Charlotte went for a moonsault. Sasha rolled out of the way, and when Charlotte went for her little flipping splash that she does, Sasha got her knees up. Sasha concentrated on the lower back of Charlotte, hitting one move after another to that back. Sasha did hit the bank statement and rolled through for the crossface, bending Charlotte almost completely backwards, but they rolled into the ropes for the break. When Charlotte made her comeback, this is where the match, I don't say fell apart, but had its troubles. Sasha went for a roll-up, but Charlotte didn't roll through and instead landed flat on her face. Charlotte went for the figure four around the ring post, but they both kind of messed that one up as well. And Charlotte looked like she hit the back of her head off of the pretty black mats. And the finish saw Charlotte go for natural selection off the top rope, but Sasha held the ropes. Charlotte slammed herself onto the mat, and Sasha rolled her up and got the win with her feet on the ropes. And that was the show. The only thing that was really made mention for next week was the Alex Riley, CJ Parker match, which I can't believe would be the main event. They did show a Rhino video package, so it's obviously he's not a one-off character. I still think, and I haven't read the spoilers, I still think he's going to be the reason why Finn Balor loses to Kevin Owens. I think he's going to turn heel and do a little group with Kevin Owens and maybe one or two others, who knows. And that's it. Show. Again, it's not something to go out of your way to see, but, if you watch Raw every week, and there's really no reason why you shouldn't watch NXT. It's a really fun show. It usually goes by pretty quickly, and the wrestling's usually pretty good to boot. That's going to do it for this show. I want to thank everybody for listening. Again, please check out the Wrestling Outsiders podcast at blogtalkradio.com/Wrestling Outsiders. And until next week, take care. Have a good one.